Hamilton is not known to have ever owned slaves, although members of his family were slave owners. At the time of her death, Hamilton's mother owned 2 slaves and wrote a will leaving them to her sons. However, due to their illegitimacy, Hamilton and his brother were held ineligible to inherit her property and never took ownership of the slaves. U-200A-17, U-200A later. As a youth in St. Croix, Hamilton worked for a company trading in commodities that included slaves. U-200A-17, U-200A. In later life, he occasionally handled slave transactions as the legal representative of his own family members, and one of his grandsons interpreted some of these journal entries as being purchases for himself. In 1840, his son John maintained that his father never owned a slave, but on the contrary, having learned that a domestic whom he had hired was about to be sold by her master, he immediately purchased her freedom. By the time of Hamilton's early participation in the American Revolution, his abolitionist sensibilities had become evident. He was active during the Revolutionary War in trying to raise black troops for the army with the promise of freedom. In the 1780s and 1790s, Hamilton generally opposed pro-slavery Southern interests, which he saw as hypocritical to the values of the Revolution. In 1785, he joined his close associate John Jay in founding the New York Manumission Society, which successfully promoted the abolition of the international slave trade in New York City and passed a state law to end slavery in New York through a decades-long process of emancipation with a final end to slavery in the state on July 4, 1827, at a time when most white leaders doubted the capacity of blacks. Hamilton believed slavery was morally wrong and wrote that their natural faculties are as good as ours. Unlike contemporaries such as Jefferson, who considered the removal of freed slaves to a Western territory, West Indies, or Africa to be essential to any plan for emancipation, Hamilton pressed for emancipation without such provisions. U-200A-22, U-200A. Hamilton and other Federalists supported the Haitian Revolution, which had originated as a slave revolt. U-200A-23, U-200A. His suggestions helped shape the Haitian Constitution. In 1804, when Haiti became an independent state with a majority black population, Hamilton urged closer economic and diplomatic ties. U-200A-23, U-200A.